Oh my goodness. I think everyone should be able to see. I'm looking at it now and I'm like, hey, camera quality, we're up here.
Yeah,
I
I was
think
gonna
your
say,
camera
like,
looks great.
the fact that we were streaming at 720 means that we're both gonna look better now that we bumped it up to 1080.
Yeah. As long as we can handle it. As long as we can handle it, we should be good to go.
I know I can handle it. I know
Well,
I
okay.
can. Although I'm starting to see the delay kicking in again here. It's
Are
not
you?
fully there.
You're like, oh my goodness, don't do this to me again.
I think we're all right. I think we're all right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we're all right. I think we're good.
I swear. I've been sitting here and Jordan's been clapping, going, nope, nope.
Well, that's like the best way because
Nope.
if I can clap really quick and then actively see my guy on the camera clap after I've done it, I know it's delayed.
That's
sometimes,
fair. That's
sometimes when you
fair.
just do like this or something, it's hard to really tell. Like, is it delayed or is it, So
Yeah. All right. So let's get links. Let's do our normal housekeeping here. For anyone who's new to the show, we're a small business marketing agency. We come in, we talk for a little bit on lunchtime on Tuesdays, and hopefully we provide some good information. We help a lot of different small businesses with their Google business profiles, their online presences, their reputation, just some general consulting. I think we got some good stories, some good things to go over with you today. Well, let me get this link over to the team. Let me invite everyone to come watch us. Make sure we do the blast on all of our socials. You know how that goes.
you know the drill. You know the drill.
Exactly.
Hanging it out to everybody. Got to get all our viewers in here. Got to send it to my mom. Got to send it to my friend.
I got to send it to my. I still absolutely love the fact that our very first live stream, your mom was in the other room, and you're like, wait, pause.
Hold on,
She asked me for the link. Let me go get her the link so that she can watch me. And I'm like, familial support, man. It's so important.
Yes, sir. I think she watched it for approximately I don't know, maybe 5 minutes at the beginning. I think she kept it on though, so it counted as a viewer for us. So
that's what we want. That's all we want is the viewership. We just want to see people, out here viewing us, basically.
Absolutely. I pinged it out to my one other person who may watch it. Again, in the living room, ironically.
Yeah. Love visitors.
80% of our viewership comes from my living room.
You just have that natural born audience. Always.
I just have a great support system, is what I have.
Honestly, man, working in this industry, great support systems more than anything else. Like,
it's a must.
That's what gets you through. And I think that's something let's start with that. Let's talk about support systems especially for small businesses, because I think they are 100% necessary. All of the small businesses I've talked to that have been successful, they're involved in the community. They make themselves available to people. They put on events, they go out there and they're getting their names out. You can definitely do a small business and, be faceless or, sit behind a screen all day. But the ones that I see successful, like one of our massage clients, he goes out and he's talking about doing classes and stuff like that recently.
Yeah. I think that's so cool. I think when we say it's possible to be a faceless small business, I think there's a little asterisk that needs to go with that. Because I think it's industry specific. We work with, massage therapists, and it's like you can't be a small business and be faceless. They're going to see your face.
No.
Sure. In an industry like that, I know we've kind of touched on this topic before, but for a small business, it's like your face is mostly the brand.
The service-based businesses that we want to work with, that's definitely true. See, I keep thinking, because I keep seeing these side hustlers out there that are like, drop ship everything, Alibaba is life. And so I'm like, you can 100% do those faceless small business. You can run a Shopify store connected to Teespring or whatever the hell else you want to do. But the successful businesses that I've been working with are the ones that are involved in the community and actually getting out there and interacting, which is super funny. Jordan, you want to jump in and talk about the issue we ran into about Cape Coral this week?
Yeah, so we had noticed, we got an email notification that someone was trying to take one of the brands that we work with here at Good Rep, Cape Coral Lawn Care. We'll call them out by name here. They
Give them a shout out.
yeah, all publicity, and so we got a notification that someone tried to claim our Google Business Profile listing, essentially claiming that they were the owner of a business that we know the owner firsthand, and we know him
we work
very
pretty
well.
directly with
And so like immediately we're like, well, this is wrong. We had to like go to the owner and be like, do you know this person trying to claim? He's like, I have no idea who that is. So then Cody, you did a little reverse engineering and you kind of figured out who that person was and like the business that, or I don't even know if they were officially a business, if they had an EIN or whatnot. But we found a website.
Yeah, we found a website, but we couldn't find any like business registration information. We found their website. We found like a name associated with it, but the name wasn't real. It wasn't an actual person when we Googled it. But the whole situation is just kind of funny. So your Google business profile is associated with your business. When you create a business and you're at a location and people are searching for you, like Google will recognize and eventually make you a listing. You have the ability to claim those listings that are like sitting out there unclaimed. But even when we have like a claimed listing, we've been working with Cape Coral Lawn Care for almost a year now. We're actually talking about doing a write-up on their progress because they've been having some really great success with us. But when someone comes in, you can just request access. You can request ownership on anyone's profile. And I think for agencies, this is much more so like a headache because the owner gets a notification. They get an email like, so-and-so is requesting ownership of your business. And they're like, what the hell is this? So that's a little bit of anxiety inducing, but it was just really interesting. And then when we dove into the guy, he, whoever this is, we're trying to copy our exact designs, or Jordan's exact designs.
So the website's one that I built, and I won't sit here and pretend like I didn't use any type of template to kind of build it up. We build so many sites. We try and do the most efficient way to give you a unique product that we can, and that normally results in us taking a template and tweaking it to match what it is you're providing. We did this with a lawn care template for a WordPress website, and there were certain things that I did unique to our site, such as like putting the Google map in the footer in a certain location, and like the whole footer was like my design and everything. A very simple one. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like it was anything special, but
it belongs at the Louvre, man.
Yeah, honestly, it was something footer we did, and you go look at theirs and it is shot for shot identical. And then you look at a few of the other things and you see a few other things. Like once you notice one, it's like everything on that website is like, they just took ours and recreated it as best as they could. And Cody, you had a pretty good theory on, sorry if I missed you saying it. You had a pretty good theory on like what it was that you think that they were doing. They were essentially just trying to direct leads to us for a profit, I believe is kind of how you explained it.
Yeah, so this is a pretty common thing for SEOs, search engine optimizers, people who are in this line of work, not necessarily agencies. This is much more for content creators and people who are looking at just kind of generating leads on a mass scale. So a lot of these people, what they'll do is they'll create industry-specific websites targeting a specific keyword. In this instance, you'll see for if we're going to dive into it with Cape Coral Lawn Care, if you're in Cape Coral and you want lawn care, you're probably going to Google Cape Coral Lawn Care or Lawn Care Cape Coral.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Cape Coral Lawn Care. That's our domain name. It's a direct match, which is really valuable because people are going to search that. And Google does look at our domain name and recognize, okay, what do they do? The exact thing that someone is searching for, we're going to put them up there. So we also rank for a bunch of other terms on that domain, but that's the main one. That was our main goal. Their company, this competitor, they're doing something very similar, except they don't have an actual company. They don't have a business. They just want to get the leads. So they bought the domain. I think it's Cape Coral, our lawn care Cape Coral, Florida. Like that is their.
Quit reading the link. Don't read their domain. No publicity for that.
Oh, sorry. It was something similar, but it was a direct search keyword that is very similar to what we had. And what they most likely are attempting to do is to create a content website that'll rank directly for that keyword. And then they just put a phone number. They paste a phone number all over the site. Usually it's click to call, so you just click on it and you call it. And what they'll do is they'll start generating calls. So if you Google that keyword in that area, they show up number one. And if they get a phone call, they can go to a lawn care company and say, hey, I have 4 or 5 phone calls coming in from my website a month. Do you want those 4 or 5 phone calls? How much will you pay me for them? And so what they'll do is they'll go city to city making these websites and seeing which ones can rank, won't rank, however many leads they can get. And all of a sudden, they duplicate this lawn care, Cape Coral, Florida. They duplicate it in every city in Florida. One of them starts ranking. They're using AI to publish all of this content. They're using the same template for the same website in cities all across the South. And then they're generating 4 or 5 leads per website. It's very, very niche. It does require a lot of SEO knowledge, but it is something that I've seen some of the side hustlers get up to.
Yeah,
they think it's one of those,
like deep down, I want to be like, man, that just kind of feels shady, feels a little scummy. But also, as you're sitting here saying it, I'm like, I should do that.
Well, it is a legitimate business.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of different ways that you can go about building these types of websites and doing these types of outreach. And sometimes, like if you are a small business owner and you have someone reach out to you and they're generating leads from a website like this, they can be valuable leads. It's definitely a partnership that can be worth pursuing. The one thing that I will say is difficult with these types of people, or if you're doing this type of work, is you don't have a Google business profile. The Google business profile is a huge driver for local services. If your Google business profile, you're appearing on maps, you're appearing in the snack pack, you're appearing at the top, you can do local service ads. You have all of these different options. But if you don't have an office location, if you're just generating leads with a website, you can't get approved for a Google business profile, which is why I think this guy was requesting access to ours because he was like, hey,
that makes sense.
They're really close.
Yeah. Oh, man. He almost got away with it, too.
If it weren't for those pesky marketers.
Yeah, if we still had VAs managing our Google business profile, I have a good, I'd bet good money that we probably would have ended up.
That would not be a good time.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, hey, there are worse things that can happen. There are definitely
I'm sure had he gotten it, there's ways that we could have gotten it back. That being said, talking to Google isn't always the easiest thing in the world to do.
My goodness,
if you're having problems and stuff like that, takes us back to trying to contact Google just to figure out hey, why are these spa images we're sharing getting taken down every time we post them? I just think about that and all of us trying to contact Google to figure that out and just never getting a real person once.
Nothing like getting the runaround from Google. And that is one of the major issues. And I think AI is going to make those issues either worse before they're better. But it's impossible to find someone to talk to. You can't find a person. There's no one there where you can be like, awesome, yeah, thank you for helping me out. And it's kind of funny because we do have one employee who works with us, not at Good Rep, but with one of our partnership companies, and he has a direct rep with Google that he's worked with for years and years and years. And he guards that information like it is solid gold. He will not share their information. Will let you on a call. So I've seen the guy's name, but it didn't have an email associated with it when I hopped on.
And also, I have to assume that rep he has is more tailored to what it is he is doing with Google. It's we wouldn't be able to be like, hey, I need to talk to your rep to figure out why my spa images aren't uploading. And he's like, well, yeah, this rep doesn't know anything about that,
No.
But I would love to pick his brain to figure out how he got to know that rep and see if we can do that to find a rep who can help us with our issues. But
yeah, I think more than anything, it's having the person-to-person contact, because I think his rep is from ad running. So I know his rep is an ad ops guy. And so he has been able to help with ads and things like that when we run Google ads, but it's definitely not something consistent, I should say. Like, you're right, we're not going to go to him and be like, hey, our spa images are being deleted, what's going on here?
Yeah.
It's one of those, like, you have to figure out how to get around the filters and get around what they are trying to, you know, you need to get around the AI and the content filters, because you're posting massage photos, not trying to be illicit or anything like that.
Pierre's in the chat. He apparently, when you guys were at PubCon, there was some choice words being said about Google. Do you recall anything that he may be referencing?
Do you remember what they were saying about Google? Yeah, actually. So yeah, so SEOs, search engine optimizers, the people who work in these types of industries and deal with Google on the regular, have a lot of choice things to say about Google. I will say it is because they're trying to game the system, and the system is put on by a capitalist company. It's not the government. They don't have to play fair. They don't have to tell us anything. Like, we have to play by Google's rules. And as a small business, you do too. Like, at this point, I feel like we've talked about Google business profiles probably every single episode. And I want to say that we're going to continue to talk about Google business profiles every single episode, because it is that important. And Google is that important for you. So anyways, any SEO that you talk to, anyone who's working on ranking websites online, anyone who is actively trying to, you know, get people trafficked to their website, like get views, eyes, clicks, they're going to have a really, really complex relationship with Google. Yeah. And that's because, yeah, Google is the monolith right now. They control everything. If you don't rank in Google, you don't rank. And Google doesn't like to tell you how to rank, and it likes to lie to you. Like, I will say, Google will lie, just flat out.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't use user information in our rankings. We don't care about backlinks. You know, we don't care about direct match URLs. Time on page isn't a thing. Like,
and then what? 4 years ago, they'll get a leak that's like, "Oh, we lied. We're sorry.
Yeah.
We lied."
Well, it's not even necessarily like a we're sorry. It's like a accident. Oh darn.
Moving on to the next one.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even know if they've necessarily ever addressed
and
those issues or anything like that.
You can't blame them for not telling you how to do things like best, like, because like they want to naturally show the best. They don't want you to tailor your stuff to like trick it into thinking you're the best.
100%. So this is an arms race, and it's been an arms race since search engines have existed, because people click at the top of Google. 90% of people, when they Google something, will click the first result. It's an absurd amount of people will click that first result compared to anything else. And I think that those statistics have definitely changed with the advent of AI and all of these different search filters that are going in. But it's an absurd amount of people who will look at that first result or try to go for that first result. Now, I do think, like, it's your goal as a business to be number one. Like, it is. And so your goal is to figure out what Google wants to see in order to be number one. And if you look at it and you're logical and you're like, okay, Google wants to see that my business is open, for example. Let's just do this. If someone Googles pizza, they don't want to see closed pizza joints. Their first three options all closed. They don't want to see that. That's not good. So Google will not show those closed options. They'll only show the opened options. Now, say someone's booking a service and they're looking at massages and it's 11 p.m. at night and they're like, I want a massage tomorrow. And if you're the only open quote unquote massage parlor, you're probably going to show up higher on Google. You're much more likely to be at the top of those SERPs when that person searches. Yeah. So is that gaming the system? Yeah. Is that your prerogative as a business owner to do? 100%.
I don't think it's necessarily gaming the system if you're, just being, it's, again, you're being honest is all you're doing, like, yeah, you are trying to beat the system as best you can, but ultimately at the same time, you're also just trying to get information about your business out in the public so that people can see it. So it's like, it's gaming the system, but it's also just doing things properly,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's recognizing the rules that Google looks at. Like, hey, Google has this checklist. Let me look at this checklist and make sure that I hit on all of those things. which, I mean, philosophically, I think that's a fascinating conversation because have you seen? I read a report. I don't remember where it was at, but it was talking about how um, people learned to Google. Googling is a skill.
Hmm.
Knowing how to Google, what to Google, and how to go through the search results is a specific skill. And so people have now created websites that are specific to Google and how that does. And all of this is done and catered and controlled by Google. Now, not to get conspiracy theory here, but how much has Google influenced or impacted how humans interact? Will
How,
we
how,
ever know? Like,
how,
let's be
how much?
real. We all know how to Google. It's a skill that millions, billions, billions of people learned because of this company.
Yeah.
Like, how much impact has Google had on our lives?
You want like something I just had an idea of. Do you think Google has like stock or like any type of buy-in in any like SEMrush, uh, Ahrefs, anything like
Oh,
that,
I'm
or do you
sure.
think, or do you
Ooh.
like should don't? How has Google not yet just put all of those companies out of business and been like, just pay for our subscription? We know what you have to do better. You know what I'm saying? Like they could do a clone service of like what SEMrush does, but
Yeah.
like
Well, and I
have
feel like at that point, you
then you're
want,
almost selling placement on
yeah.
your SERP.
Well, it's like, yeah. So I don't have an MBA. It's been something that I've been like half interested in because I do think like marketing in general is fascinating. So like these types of conversations, like this is a great question because one, I don't think Google would want SEMrush to be out of business. I think Google wants SEMrush and Ahref and Moz. Google wants these businesses to exist because it creates a cat and mouse where it's like, okay, they're trying to game Google, and Google's like, I'm trying to keep ahead of you. So it's inspiring search. It's an industry built around Google. And
Yeah.
all of these industries built around Google prop Google up because if Google collapses, those industries collapse. And so now Google's like, hey, if I go down, you're all going down with me. And so
Yeah.
now all of those people are backing up Google. And I think that's part of
I get
big
that.
business.
I get that. I just feel like if they were to do a product that is essentially just a Google branded SEMrush, like so many people would migrate from those other ones to that because it's almost like, well, of course, Google is going to know what's best for Google more than SEMrush knows or Ahref or Screaming Frog or any of those, you know. But I do
Mhm.
get what you're saying as well. However, I don't feel that Google's success is as predicated on that industry as that industry's success is predicated on Google. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, I can definitely get what you're kind of getting at. I don't know if I'm I don't know if I agree is what I'm thinking. Like, I don't know. Industries are difficult. There's a lot that goes into them.
Yeah, and
And
it's hard
sorry,
to
I
say.
got
It's hard to say the mindset of either one of them when we're not really in either office. You know,
yeah.
like I can't say what how Google feels about these like search engine helping applications or if they like them, if they hate them, or really
Yeah.
how like SEMrush might be like fucking Google, we hate you so much because it's like as soon as they feel like they're getting somewhere, Google turns it around on them or like
Well, and I feel like more than anything else that just gives them longevity, you know? Like you this isn't an industry where you complete something and then it's never edited again. Like
yeah,
you don't finish a software. Like SEMrush is not done. They're constantly needing to upgrade and integrate in order to charge people more. I mean, like let's be real here. To get specific with it, SEMrush offered a tool that was a citation builder. They used to offer this on a la carte basis. You could buy a citation and just fire it off, and it was a one-time thing. It was a really great tool that they'd built. And when they launched it, we hopped in. We were like, "This is phenomenal! I love this. I can shoot all my information to Yelp and all of these other places, all these other directories with just one click in SEMrush." Well, since then, they've needed to upgrade the service, and so they've taken away the a la carte option and bundled it together with a bunch of other services to create a local package. And this local package includes geo grids and map ranking, and you can have AI responses to your Google reviews and things like that. Which is, I'll be clear, it's just using Google's API and connecting that to SEMrush. Like, it's not a hugely complicated thing. Just like the citation builder is just connecting a bunch of APIs to the SEMrush citation builder. But it was a really great tool, and now it's all bundled together, and it's based on location. So you need to pay a monthly fee for a single location in order to use a citation builder, and you're locked in for 3 months on a, like, 2.5, 3 times as expensive plan. It's what they got to do, man. In order to make their money, they were obviously losing money on the citation builder. So
yeah,
I can't say I agree, but
right. Yeah, I know it's an industry that is so, like, just interconnected at so many different points that it's like, who's to say how, like, one motion affects another, like.
yeah. Well, I mean, and there are entire industries that are so much bigger than we are. There's so much data out there that I'm sure Google is collecting and Facebook is
Yeah.
collecting for all of their searches and all of their, like, interactions and things like that. Um, and I mean, there's probably a lot that they can deduce, is my assumption. Like, I assume that they have a lot of this information. I'd be curious to see if any of it ever gets presented to us, but I do doubt that.
What else we got to talk about, Cody?
Oh my goodness. I'm just trying to think of, like, now I'm on this whole, like, Google kick where I'm like, Google has all of this, like, power and ability, and now I'm thinking about, like, the lawsuit that they're in to get rid of Chrome. Do you think they're going to get rid of Chrome?
No.
No, you don't think they're going to be, like, forced to?
No.
No. I'll be super curious.
I'll be honest.
Context,
I'm not informed on what's going on with that. So my opinion here is 100% just, like, based on, like, a too big to fall kind of mindset, which I know is
exactly
the case, but like at the same time, I think Chrome is hands down the most popular, the most popular web browser there is. But on that exact same note, it's arguably the worst. Like, from like a tech standpoint, like, it just sucks your CPU and memory. Like, it's horrible to run. Like, when I look at, like, your computer, when you have 20 million tabs open, and then you're like, my computer can't run things. I'm like, close Chrome, bro.
Fair, very fair. I do. So using Chrome, having all those browsers, I've been very tempted to, like, make swaps. What do you use Chrome too?
I use Chrome, but I keep 5 tabs open at a time. Like, right. And if it goes to more than that, I'll open a separate instance, which isn't relieving any of that weight that it's doing. But that being said, like, I can't do like you do, where it's like your entire, like, top of your screen is just like boop, 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 boop. There's a million tabs that's like, I don't even know what each of them are. I need to be able to read at least the first word of every tab so I know what tab it is.
I only have 20 tabs open, not including. I only have 20 tabs, not including the 5 tabs that I have open for our live stream right now.
Nice.
So 25 tabs.
My computer can't handle all this.
I do close down my tabs every once in a while. I do know.
Yeah, what, every month? Once a month?
No, so I'll usually, and this is
first Friday of every month.
I will shut down my computer probably once a week. So, like, I'll usually restart it on weekends. But even then, like, yeah, I try to close my tabs at the end of the week. It's almost like clocking in for me, like, I clock into the job, I open all of my tabs, and, like, my work week starts. That's part of my Monday, is opening all my tabs.
See, like, my thing is like, I go to the same tabs almost every day, or at least for like a week. It'll be like, if I'm working on one site, it will be the same tab. So, like, I'll keep them open, but, like, I don't understand needing 30 of them. Like Sarah's got here in the chat. It's like, you use every single one of those 33 every day, or at least to the point where, like, if you use it once a day, You know, like, yeah, I use every one of them at least once a day. It's like, yeah, but once a day you can close it and reopen it again the next day. It doesn't need to stay there. And maybe you guys just use more than I do, but like, I don't know. It's just that's so many. That's so many, and hard to believe that all of them need to be open at the same time.
I'm sure they don't. It is purely ease of use. So for me, like, let me read out these tabs that I've got. I've got 4 Google Sheets that I keep open 24/7. Those 4 Google Sheets are all related to good rep tracking, like profit loss, clients, checkup list, all of that type of thing. After that, I have analytics and local brand manager. So some analytics software so that I can look at our sites, keep up on stats. I usually check those 5 to 10 times a day. I usually use the good rep like Excel sheets probably once a day each. But for example, if anyone needs a login or anyone has a question about, hey, where's this? I can go grab a link real quick. I then have 5 email tabs. This is probably where I can make a little bit of space.
Yeah, that could just as easily be no email tabs, and you just open it when you get an email.
Well, and there are a number of different things like I need to verify or like keep an eye on. So like, for example, I keep my good rep email open so that I can see any of the invoices or client emails.
I get a notification in the bottom right of my screen whenever I get an email, bro. I can open that tab when that email comes through.
How do you have that set up? I don't have that set up. Without having your email open?
Yeah, you just gotta tell Chrome that you're okay with having notifications on.
Oh, yeah. See, I hate notifications.
And on top of that, not just through my computer, I have my Apple Watch, which isn't on right now, but I have like my watch, my phone, everything that has those emails as well. I get an email and I get notified in 4 rooms of my apartment.
Let me see that wrist again. Is that a watch tan line right there?
Yeah, it probably is. I'm coming off a real bad burn.
I was gonna say the burn looks a lot better.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the camera doesn't do it justice. I got a pretty nice little tan going right now. Like
you're like, I burned red as a lobster.
Actively burning on the river as I was floating down, and everyone's like, "We're gonna be all burnt." And I'm like, "Yeah, I am gonna be burnt for about 3 days, and then this is gonna turn golden." I was like, I could tell as I was floating. I was like, "This is a good one. This is a good tan." Sometimes I get burnt, and I can tell like, no, this is too burnt. It's gonna burn. It's gonna peel, and then like I'm not gonna have any tan. This did not peel. I got a little bit of peeling kind of like up here on the head a little bit, you know, and I had really bad peeling on my thighs. My thighs got it really bad.
God, that would be so
like they still have like actual burns on them. Like there was a moment where you probably could have taken a knife and just made a nice little fillet out of my leg there. And, it would have been nice and tender. Been jerky.
Oh dear God, man. I burn so bad, and it is awful. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with burning even slightly. Ugh. But anyways, back on topic. Digital marketing, small businesses, agency work. What were our main topics? What?
That was our topic? We have a topic?
No, our topic is always small business marketing. It's always how can you as a small business do better? And I think it's a lot of...
Listen, how can you make your small business better? Book a free 30-minute consultation with Cody Anderson. Oh. I always will point to my right. I'm pretty sure he's on my left right now.
That works for me. See, I point this way.
Go ahead and book it with somebody.
We're going to book a call with that guy. He's here somewhere. Yeah, come check it out. I'm willing to chat. It's 30 minutes free.
Sorry to interrupt this, but with something not important at all. Have you ever seen oh God, what was the game show where it was like a big like checkerboard and like there were like people would like pop up in like different corners of it, and like there was like a song that they did like a celebrity version of it, and it was like someone didn't tell Usher he's not gonna be in like the center, and he's doing like a and he's like pointing to everybody like that, and he's like in the bottom left, so there's like times where he's like pointing to Nova.
Are you talking about
It might not have been a game show. It might have been like a
Hollywood Squares.
Yeah, it might. Yeah,
where they had all the all the celebrities in like a tic-tac-toe grid or whatever.
Yeah,
Maybe not celebrities.
And like they didn't tell him that like he must have thought he was going to be fully surrounded by people, and so like they're like singing a song and like it's like We Are the Champions or something. And he's like and he's like pointing everywhere and like you
pointing everywhere,
got, like,
no one's there
near him.
Ouch.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel every time I point at you on my screen.
I'm like, should I be watching the?
Probably shouldn't watch it live, but maybe you know what? For reference, yeah. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I'll link it to you. You fill in the empty space here.
Fill in the empty space. Well, hey, we're gonna be divesting ourselves here. This is the end of the general show. It's been Cody and Jordan with the Good Rep Media, Lunch with the Boys. Just kind of here chatting about small business marketing tips. If you are a small business owner, if you are interested in chatting about what we can possibly do to help you out, or even just chatting about your business, feel free to book with a conversation. Link below, goodrep.media. Come check us out.
Drop in there. Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, we're going to be here every Tuesday at noon, live streaming. The goal is to give you guys some free tips on how to do better as a business, how to, find yourself some more customers and some more clients, and to navigate the online sphere. There's a lot that we can do. There's a lot that you can do yourself. If you want to check out one of our previous episodes where we talked about Google Business Profiles and the easy things that you can do,
we have a great video. We have a great video that we put together, another live. It's not really like edited or nothing, but we have a great video that we're going to talk about all the different things that you can do right now without hiring a marketing agency, without going out and doing hours worth of research, just simple steps that you can go do right now to improve your business. And you may have some of them already done, but you may not. Go learn something.
go learn something. Exactly. And like that's the biggest pitch that we're going to get. Our goal is to be here every week, providing a couple of tips, some chill times, the ability to chat about marketing, and maybe some life things as well. But
I dropped it in the main chat there. I thought I was dropping that in the Good Rep chat. Everybody,
you did drop that.
Everybody watching here, just know I just dropped in our main company chat.
All right.
Well, I'm not going to delete it. Right, I'll delete it afterwards. Cody, go ahead and pull it up and share the screen so that people will know what I'm talking about.
Give me a second here. All right, let's share this here. You guys see that?
Yeah, we see it.
We are the champions.
So loud. Look at Usher in the bottom left corner. That's me every time.
He's really going hard, man.
He's like pointing off to the left. He's like looking down below.
I want to say,
you're telling me the person editing that didn't know where to put it?
Yeah, maybe. But that did remind me of Hollywood Squares, man. What happened to that show? That is an old show.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know what that's actually. I think that was just like a Jimmy Kimmel thing that they did right there. But yeah, it reminded me of Hollywood Squares. But yeah, that's not what they were doing. Obviously, I was wrong.
Close, but no cigar.
Yeah.
But hey, guys, that was Lunch with the Good Rep Boys. It's been a pleasure having you. We'll see you again next week, noon on Tuesdays.
Thanks, guys. Tuesdays.